got some.
All right, here we are.
Hype.
So
Gameplay.
So what's this one? Is this the base, the MK2
This is his base, and I added a couple things.
I kind of like his default costume. It looks nice.
But this is like his default look, and we'll go over his default moves. So,
is one of your favorite things per week naming the variations?
Yes, I take great joy in it.
Okay.
So to start off, his arcing fireball that he typically has is actually gone, and he uses his Mortal Kombat 1 straight fireball.
That thing's quick.
So this is actually a really good fireball, which
Holy crap.
you don't normally think of with Johnny Cage, but it's really fast. The amplified one is actually a double fireball.
That thing's fast as fuck.
I think it's actually really strong. You kind of asked me, hey, what do you do with a fireball? And I basically said, there's no reason not to just do it. Like, you really can't go wrong.
Look at that.
Just keep throwing
Holy
it out.
crap.
Right?
The other thing is his classic shadow kick is back. It's exactly
fast
what you
too.
want. It's very fast. It's still a high, so they can duck under it, but
God.
it travels the full screen. It's a great whip punisher. It's a great check. It's the shadow kick.
And the amplified version of that, has that changed at all? I noticed you had amplifies in an earlier build. They were a little different.
Yes.
How have you adjusted them?
Well, one of the things is we listened to feedback, and we actually made it so that to amplify a move, you just hit the interact button. You just hit the right bumper. So you go for the nut punch, and that's the regular one.
The guys,
You
you hear
amplify
that?
it.
They
You just
changed
hit the
amplify.
right bumper, and it'll actually go off. So we've actually simplified it since what we had at the reveal event, where it was a different button press for every amplified move.
Some people were complaining about that. They said it was kind of unnecessary.
Things like that.
It looks like now
to
they
take some
changed
fan feedback. We can obviously not everything.
So you
work
can
with the game
amplify
you're
just by pressing
creating,
the
but,
trigger
that was one of the things
instead
we
of
thought
having to
about.
press
We thought
like
that,
X
let's run some
or
tests
4
with that,
and
see how it
1
goes.
or whatever.
And it seems to be working pretty well that way.
Yeah.
So.
Now, to be clear, they are not EX move. They're still amplified. So I'm not doing the nut punch with block at the same time to just immediately do it. I'm doing the nut punch, then I amplify it a few seconds later. So you still have the different timing depending on how you want you to do the move, but the button is always going to be universal. And the timing window is huge. So they're not meant to, and they are not difficult at all.
I did a few, so I know they're
Like,
I kind of want to see
execution
him
is not the
dash
barrier
more
of entry when it
and see
comes
what
to
it looks
Exactly.
like.
We want to
amplified
think
moves.
about how you're using your offensive stamina meter, not that it's hard to do. So that's why we decided to go with that input system.
And I will say, it's funny now that I've been playing with this way and how it is. I will kind of forget about my meter. So now, because I'm doing them so much more often, because I'm remembering everything, I'm looking at my meter. I'm like, why didn't that come out? And Steve's like, you ran yourself out of meter.
Yeah, bro.
Yep. All right, Steve, continue.
So let's go over some of his normals. I think Cage, to me, excels at the mid-range. So he's got 3 or 4 key moves I'd like to show.
Okay.
The first is his forward 3, which is, like always with Johnny Cage, a long-range advancing move. And this combos into these awesome sidekicks. It's super fun to mash it.
Is that a mid
I
or a
mashed
high?
the hell out of it.
Seems pretty good range.
You only have to press
but it
it.
looks like it could be a
Yes,
high.
but I enjoy doing it that way.
He's making extra sure.
Right.
And the big thing there is it's very easy to hit confirm. You can see that the kicks are coming, and you can stop mashing and go into shadow kick or nut punch. And
But you keep going.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Johnny
keep going.
Cage actually might
real
have some
quick,
combo
for
potential
those
in this
people who
game
may not know
because
the
he can
term,
nut
hit
punch and then
Hit confirm
meter
means
burn
you
to
see the
extend
move hit,
or
and then
amplify.
you go into your combo instead of just letting the string go out or blocking. Like I saw it hit, and then go into the nut punch.
Now
So,
you'll
like,
watch me and Derek play, and we'll just.
There's
We'll
not
just
a
throw
lot.
I
of
want to
stuff.
see
How it
a
works.
nut
The
punch
nice thing
crushing
about when you
blow on a
fight is there's
male
also
and
not a
see
lot
his
of
like
blocking.
Right.
see his
So nut punch is a
testicle
good linker
explode.
to go into something more elaborate.
Exactly. Like he's gonna get the pop up, and then you can do a
wonder
combo.
what he
That's
can
going to
do
be
to
his
extend
main
after
way
that.
that he's going to go into his additional damage.
Nice.
But since it's punishable if it's blocked, if it's blocked, you just finish the string. You wouldn't go into the nut punch.
Or Tyler and I would.
Yes. Honestly, I would too, because a nut punch is fun.
Yeah.
Another really good one is his forward 4, which is his knee. Johnny Cage without a knee would just... That's not a thing. Like, he's
So,
got to have his advancing.
We have a guest coming on later to do
Who's
the
very
washed
familiar
up,
with
definitely
it.
washed up Warriors.
Yeah.
He's definitely
Aaron Davis, a.k.a. Dizzy, Twitter handle,
What is
Dizzy
that?
Me.
Yes, yeah.
So-
I mean, it's Johnny Cage's signature move, and it is back. He can go into 4-4-4 and be safe. He actually has another one that leads to a crushing blow. Now that one's a high, so if they duck and punish it, he gets blown up. But if he knows it's going to hit, he can go into the crushing blow.
That's a crushing
And then
blow.
he can also cancel that to go into combos.
Alright.
All I'm watching the whole time is to see if he's smiling, and he absolutely
He
is.
is a very, very happy guy.
He's having a good day.
Now, I think another one of his key moves is his back 3, which is actually a low strike. And you can go into this flip kick, or you can, again, confirm into the nut punch. And this is great because it's a low. So the opponent, if they're trying to walk back out of the range of these other moves, the low is going to get them. The downside is he actually does not have a really, really good overhead. He's not meant to be a 50-50.
So they just switched him around from MKX, where MKX you always had to watch out for the overhead. Now you always have to watch out for the low.
So to me, he's going to check you with the low, keep you from walking back, but he's not really going to mix you up with an overhead. He'll probably open you up with a lot of throws.
You're going to throw a lot by Johnny Cage, yeah.
And lastly, he does have a pop-up with his jabs. That's like your good Punisher, like if you block Sub-Zero Slide or Scorpion Spear.
Really good in the corner as well.
Yes, you have corner comms with that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Make corner comms a thing.
So to me,
corner comms are a thing.
They're not a thing.
The way he kind of moves his body when he does
me
that
is
shoulder
really
thing is, I think Green
fundamental
Lantern has
screen.
something
He's
similar.
going to hover around here. He's going to look for movement. Make a guess that you're going to hit a button. Go in with forward 4. You're going to be afraid to hit a button, and he's going to get jump-ins, throws. I mean, when we were talking, you pointed out that it's really good. Like, his dash is really fast, and he can just dash up and throw you because you're scared of the mid-range. And that's exactly it. And you never know when Shadow Kick's going to come.
Yeah.
His Fireball.
I was wondering, like, what do you do when you're at full screen and you need to cover that distance? Do you just slowly inch your way back to mid-range?
If he is getting zoned out, that's exactly what you have to do. But in a match like this, where Scorpion doesn't have a good projectile, his projectile is going to cover it.
Nice.
Then, of course, you'd have to look out for Scorpion's teleport and stuff like that. But essentially, yeah, inch your way in. And you can see his dash actually covers a lot of space. He always has Shadow Kick. He
that
moves
back dash
pretty
seemed
fast,
kind of
so he's well equipped to get in that mid-range.
He's fast for an old man, eh?
That's true.
Yeah. All right, what else we got,
Like,
Steve?
that doesn't seem that
So,
good.
let's go into some of the loadout moves for this variation I made.
You put some good ones in this.
Yeah, so this is his Rage Charge, and this is a very unique move. So it looks like this hook punch.
All right.
And what it does is, it's a high attack, but if you block it, it becomes
We've never really
a mid.
done anything like this game.
Yeah, this is a very unique move. So the second hit makes it a mid, and you can see that it starts glowing. The second time, on the third hit, it is actually unblockable. He is set to
what?
always block. And you can amplify this to get a flip
Like each
hit.
time?
So you'll see it's going to be
That's so
unblockable.
weird.
And he gets a
What?
pretty juicy amount of damage.
That's awesome.
So the meta here is
What?
Johnny Cage, like I said, he doesn't have a good 50-50. So
That's
it's
so
a lot
weird.
of pressure. It's a lot of going for throws. He can do like block strings, go into this,
Yeah, this game
and
does
if they
look
block
really
it,
good.
it's charged. The second charge is a mid, the third's an unblockable. So if they just keep blocking forever, they're going to get hit by this and they're going to die.
Now, does it have to be consecutive?
It does not have to be literally consecutive, but if he gets a hit, the charge goes away.
Sure.
So actually, taking the hit would be a viable strategy.
Right.
You just want to get out
so
of
if
dodge
you-
and go back to zoning him.
If he gets
So that's kind of a
hit,
pretty
then it goes
innovative,
away.
unique move.
Yeah,
This is a
use
really
press
weird,
line and get
move.
rewarded for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that.
And also, we're talking about, like, the hit confirming. You don't really have to there.
Oh yeah, you just mash it out.
Right.
And I mean, you can't really hit or block confirm a move that can't be blocked.
Right.
So I also gave him the mime parry, which is just really fun. It parries all mids, overheads, highs. And if he amplifies it, he actually gets a pop-up.
A pop-up for a parry?
One other fun thing is, it
Am
already
I the
lasts
only one that
1,000
thinks that's
years,
kind of ridiculous?
If you
Get
amplify
a
it,
full
it can actually
combo
keep
off
going. Keep doing it. So this is a great trick. Like, sometimes I'll knock him down, do it, and if they do
Am
a
I the
mixed
only one that
attack,
thinks it's kind of crazy to get
I'll
a
actually
full
amplify it so it
combo
lasts
off
even
the
longer.
parry?
It's extremely
That seems
obnoxious,
kinda
which I
crazy.
think Johnny Cage probably should be obnoxious.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some videos with that being used in some pretty.
Oh yeah,
There's been some
broke
horseplay
already.
going on.
yeah. I mean, it's the definition of horseplay.
It does seem
very,
like
very,
super
very
strong,
simple.
and
You
there's
can
a
only
couple
amplify that
characters
one
I
time,
think
right?
that
Yes.
they mentioned.
How
can
early
do
in
that.
development were you like, we need that move?
I mean,
Day one.
I was told the designer that worked on him was like popping off about how he's going to do the Ninja Mime parry like a year ago. Like that was definitely one of like his core. He has to have this.
Mad props
Now,
still bigger enough.
now again,
Oh, yeah.
it's so you can also low attack.
Yes, you can low attack him. And then lastly, I equipped the brass knucks.
Hey.
And this is very reminiscent of
Often
Fisticuffs
someone's gonna
Johnny
land the
Cage.
parry.
What this does is
Parries
all of
work,
his chip
like,
damage.
Even if
is
you look at me
significantly
fighting
buffed.
Silvereye earlier, like
And
he
chip
was
damage is
carrying my
already
shit
pretty
with the
strong in
flame
Mortal
fist and
Kombat,
cane.
but it is a significant chip damage buff.
Oh, yeah?
So this is even exactly what you were just saying 5 minutes ago, that he keeps the pressure up, you can't just
Rewarded
block
for it.
forever. Exactly. So with the fisticuffs thing, it's even more dangerous to be going for chip damage.
And now you're still doing your charged punch. You're still
Yep.
So you're layering the way he fights, like to so this version fights a very different way than a lot of other versions you're going to create.
Exactly. Which, let's go into another one.
Straight to DVD. I do like the name.
That's exactly it.
I feel like that's Johnny Cage's. That would be his role.
Yeah, that's most of his movies.
Right. So this one I wanted to make straight up
All
Mortal
right.
Kombat 2.
Let's take a minute to enjoy this skin. It is wonderful.
It's. I picked this specifically because this is MK2, so the 90s, and I think this really nails it.
It really encompasses everything about the 90s in
Yeah.
one
Yep.
image.
Yep, I love it.
So here, he loses his straight fireball, and he actually gains the old school arcing fireballs. He can do a high
quick,
one,
too, though.
he can do the lower one, and he can do a double one. Now, these don't hit up close, so they're very different than the straight ones. However, the recovery is super, super good, and they are super fast. So while they're only good for full screen, they're very, very, very hella good full screen.
Now you can get jump ins too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which you see in the trailer. If you read from full screen that they're going to try to jump in, it's
Fine.
really going to cover the air. Then I also gave him his flip
But
kick is replaced.
Do you not
with
get
his
your straight
MK2
projectile anymore?
anti-air uppercut. It's safer than the other one. It does more damage, and the meter burn actually, well, not meter burn, amplified, can come out as that second hit and catch him.
So if you whiff on the first one, you still have something
Exactly.
to utilize.
That's a day one strategy, guys. Day one strategy. Your online tournament, day one, you do that, and then they try to punish you, and you do it. I do it all the time. It's great. So how about one more loadout?
Yeah.
I see the similarities. If
All right.
he did
What's the
that
next one?
and then it went pew,
Do
pew,
my
pew.
own stunts.
Yeah, that's Starfire.
Where I gave him a couple of different.
Ooh,
This is my favorite look.
Ah, yo,
the belt.
The belt's pretty great.
yo.
So Johnny can actually summon. He loses his shadow kick, and he can summon a stunt double to run
That's
by
pretty cool.
and do a JBL clothesline. And if you amplify it, you get the second hit.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Then his second move is he'll call him and bash him over the head, talk some trash, then peace out, or actually get this combo started.
I love
Oh,
how the
that's
stunt double's hair is just a little off color too. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
so
the,
perfect.
the Johnny written on his chest is great.
Isn't it like marker or something?
Yes.
so
Kind of hard to see
So
that.
the cool thing about this is it actually doesn't go away if Johnny's hit. So like if Scorpion hits Cage after he's already done the summon, the stunt double will actually come up and interrupt
What's
the
up,
combo,
Marlene
and then
Quinzel?
Johnny gets a combo.
He does look like
so
him,
while this
though.
has a ton of
He
recovery
does.
and startup, you almost like know you're gonna get hit. You're just like,
Especially
yeah, come
in
on,
the
Scorpion.
outro,
Come at me, bro,
when he's
and then
playing
he's gonna
with
get
that action
interrupted,
figure.
and Johnny will get a combo. So you are giving up your
Noob
shadow kick.
confirmed.
so
I was
your
kind of
best
thinking
space
that too.
control
That's
tool,
kind of
you're
like
getting this
something
active
you'd
space
think
control
Noob
tool,
would
which is
have,
good
having
with
someone
stunt
run at them.
doubles.
Yes, and
You know, like
that's
that's kind of what he
Konami.
did
Yeah,
in
that's
K9.
Jim is his
So does
Konami.
that
Yeah.
kind of mean that Noob wouldn't be in the game? I hope not.
So
I
there's
wanna
our
see Noob
loadouts.
sideline
That
this game.
is Johnny Cage. I think
Johnny Cage in the box.